Good morning, planet Earth. Thank you very much for tuning in today to the QC Cube Space Station. My name is Eric Staubus, and I am the QC Cube Space Coach. Today we are doing video number 2 about QC Cube Space Water. This is the second video in the 7-part series, which is designed to introduce you to the intelligent energy of space. Today I want to talk to you about the energy of space and how it transforms a regular bottle of water into QC Cube Space Water. I like to start every video by stating the new scientific, spiritual truth about the universe. In 1979, I discovered that the source of the energy that moves particles through space is space itself. Space fills the universe. The universe is contained in infinite space. Space contains everything, and it is contained within everything. In other words, the space that the planets and stars and galaxies move around in is the same as the space that the particles move around in inside of atomic structure. There's only one space in the universe, and it is the source of the energy that moves particles, and everything is made of particles. So what you're going to learn as we go along in these 7 videos is that one source of all energy has created everything in the universe. So for now, let's move on here with space water, okay? First of all, it is easy enough to weigh a bottle of water, okay? This is not a complicated process. Here's my scale. It's fairly accurate. It measures to hundredths of a gram. And since we are measuring in grams, I will be referring to the mass of the water in these plastic bottles that I use for the experiments, okay? This is bottle number 1, marked right here and on the top, from experiment number 275. These are my experimental records here. I've done over 300 experiments now, and looking at the experimental records, I see that this bottle measured 510.53 grams on March 31st at 0730 hours. This bottle spent the next 5.23 days under the 10-foot pyramid. And on April 5th, at 1300 hours, it measured 510.42 grams. That is a mass loss of 11/100ths of a gram. Okay? Let's see what it measures today. Today it weighs in at 508.26 grams. You can see it continues to lose mass. This is bottle number 10, also from experiment number 275. And on March 31st, it measured 514.57 grams. And on April 5th, 5.23 days later, it measured 514.42 grams, which indicates a loss of 15/100ths of a gram. It spent those 5.23 days under the 8-foot pyramid. Let's see what it measures today. 512.22 grams. So you can see it continues to lose mass. And this is bottle number 23, also from experiment number 275. It was part of the control group and was not under either pyramid. Records indicate that on March 31st, it weighed in at 514.18 grams, and 5.23 days later, it measured 513.98 grams, indicating a loss of 20/100ths of a gram. Today, it weighs 511.77 grams. So you see it continues to lose mass. I should have put these on the scale before I did the measuring, but these are the weights that I use before I start using my scale to make sure that it comes in at a kilogram, and it does. Okay. It seems to me that what is being demonstrated in these hundreds of experiments that I've been performing for the last 7 years is this. Number one, the plastic semi-permeable containers of drinking water have been losing varying amounts of mass every day for the last 7 years. And number two, the rates of mass loss vary from bottle to bottle, but I average them out. Each group under the 8-foot pyramid, 9 bottles. 10-foot pyramid, 9 bottles. Control group, 9 bottles. Okay? The rates of mass loss vary from about averaged out. They also show that the amount of mass loss is influenced by the size and the efficiency of the pyramid structure under which they have spent their time during the experiment. What I propose is that these phenomena cannot be explained by the forces identified in the standard model of science. Molecules of water cannot just escape from a sealed container. Water kept at constant temperature and pressure does not evaporate, especially from a sealed container. Everybody says, well, the water evaporates. No, not from a sealed container. However, since the mass of the water in the plastic bottles is being reduced, it is quite obvious that the molecules of water are going somewhere. If these were glass bottles, I presume the molecules could not escape. But there is a force that is pushing them through the semi-permeable plastic. That's why they call it semi-permeable. It's not glass, which is non-permeable. It is semi-permeable. And there is a force that is pushing the molecules of water through that plastic. And I propose that this is experimental proof of the energy of space. That's the beginning. I also propose that this force of space has been successfully identified by the science of space, which claims that this is an infinite universe that we live in, which in turn means that the Big Bang Theory is not justified. Okay? The Big Bang Theory is not valid. The universe is eternal, just like its creator. It did not begin with a Big Bang. That conjecture was dreamed up by physicists back in the 60s in an effort to explain where the energy comes from to account for the simple fact that everything in the universe is in a state of constant motion. In metaphysics, we identify this conjecture as an attempt by the intellect to explain the origin of our existence without relying upon a unifying force. It is an effort to prove that there is no need for such an entity as a creator. But what we are witnessing with global warming is that this limited thinking is really a guarantee of doom for our planet. Maybe not for our planet, but for our survival on the planet. For one reason and one reason only. And that is the simple fact that we are spiritual beings alive in a spiritual universe, and we are supposed to be living that truth. The proof of this is extracted from the scientific evidence provided by plastic bottles of water and the varying rates of mass loss that they demonstrate over relatively short periods of time, okay? as measured by a spiritualist, me, intent upon using the simple principles of science to prove the existence of the intelligent energy of space. I have my conjectures about the intelligent energy of space, and I have my scientific proof to back them up. Thank you very much for tuning in today to the QC Cube Space Station, and I look forward to seeing you for video number 3.